Bergen-Fischer Media.
Hey, it's Monday, here we go. It's the Call Me Tony Show.
Hey guys, it is time for my Monday morning podcast. Right now it is Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. Obviously, it is not Monday, but I'm going to call it Monday adjacent. My name is Tony, and this is my podcast. Welcome. I've been stewing a little bit on what to talk about today. Yesterday, I sat down and recorded, and I thought that I had come up with something brilliant until I finished with the editing and was putting together the episode artwork and right on the verge of uploading the content. And I realized, oh, I covered the same topic 2 weeks in a row, which doesn't work. Well, I think that the second run at the subject matter, in all honesty, turned out better than the first run. I just couldn't bring myself to put it out a second time. So I was back to the drawing board, and by the time I was done putting together some coherent thoughts, I realized that I don't think I'm going to have this done in time for Monday. So try to disregard the Monday reference and the theme song and the fact that I've been harping on and on and on again about Monday on a Tuesday. But the reality is, I don't know when you're listening. Maybe it's Friday where you are. Maybe it's not even 2025 by the time you get to this. I don't know. Anyways, I'm rambling. So, in addition to this being a Tuesday version of a Monday podcast, it's not the only thing that I'm doing differently. The other thing I'm doing differently, which those who are listening on the audio podcast won't notice, but those who might be tuning in on YouTube certainly will notice. This is the first time I'm doing Call Me Tony on video. So I hope this works out well for you. I hope it works out well for me. I've already realized that I really am not camera comfortable. I'm so used to hiding behind the anonymity of an audio only podcast where, I can touch my face like I just realized I'm doing right now. I can look all over the place. I can hide my body language from you, but the unblinking eye of the camera, it sees it all. And I realize that I don't really want to hide it anyways. So this is it. This is me. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about handling uncertainty in relationships. And uncertainty is one of the hardest things for me to handle. I can process loss, I can deal with conflict, but when I don't know where I stand with someone, when things feel off, but I can't pinpoint why, it throws me into a spiral. My anxiety thrives on preparing for every possible outcome, but when the situation keeps shifting, I can't get a grip on reality. So, in this episode, I want to talk about why uncertainty in relationships is so unsettling, how it affects my mental health, and why I sometimes feel the need to withdraw when I don't know who I can trust. So, I suffer from general anxiety. And one of the ways I cope is by imagining every conceivable outcome and preparing for each so I'm not caught off guard. This helps me relax because it gives me a sense of control. But when there's uncertainty in my relationships, when I don't know where I stand with someone or when their behavior is inconsistent, it introduces too many variables for me to process. And suddenly I can't predict outcomes. I can't prepare. And as a result, my mental stability is gone. Now, certainty, even when it's painful, is something I can handle. If someone tells me they don't want me in their life, I can deal with that. It hurts, but it's clear. If someone is openly unkind or disrespectful, I know what I'm dealing with, and I can decide how I want to respond. But uncertainty, when someone is hot and cold, when they avoid direct communication, when I feel like I'm being strung along or given mixed signals, that is what unsettles me. Uncertainty in relationships isn't just frustrating, it feels destabilizing. My brain doesn't let me just wait and see. Instead, it runs through every possibility, every interpretation, every worst case scenario. And because I can't land on a solid answer, I spiral. I become emotionally exhausted, overanalyzing conversations, looking for hidden meanings, trying to predict what someone is thinking or feeling when they won't just tell me directly. When people I trust stay silent or avoid giving me clarity, it creates a deep sense of unease. I don't expect everyone to always have the right words, but when someone repeatedly avoids hard conversations, it sends the message that my feelings and our relationship aren't important enough to address. The more someone dances around the truth, the more isolated I feel. I try to address this kind of uncertainty by being upfront about my feelings and asking direct questions. But sometimes people don't respond in kind. Some people are going to avoid confrontation at all costs. Some of them probably don't even realize that they're being unclear. And some, they just don't care. No matter the reason, when I don't get clear answers, it reinforces my anxiety. It makes me feel like I'm shouting into a void and hoping for reassurance, but receiving silence instead. When uncertainty drags on, I find myself wanting to withdraw completely. If I can't trust that someone will be consistent, if I don't know whether I can rely on them, then my instinct is to step back and detach. The problem is, isolation only makes things worse. I rely on my support system to feel whole, but uncertainty makes me question that support system. It's a terrible cycle, actually. Uncertainty making me pull away, pulling away making me feel alone, and feeling alone making everything harder to process. So, what do I do? How do I manage relationships when uncertainty feels unbearable? I don't have all the answers, but I made a list of things I need to remind myself of. First, not everyone communicates the way I do. Some people don't avoid clarity to be cruel, they just struggle with being direct. Second, silence is an answer. If someone repeatedly leaves me in uncertainty, that tells me what I need to know about our relationship. Third, I can't control other people, but I can control my boundaries. If someone's inconsistency is affecting my mental health, I have every right to step back. And lastly, I need to give myself grace. It's okay that uncertainty affects me. That doesn't make me weak. It means I care. In closing, um, uncertainty in relationships, I think, is always going to be difficult for me. But I'm learning that I don't have to stay stuck in that uncertain place, waiting for someone else to clarify things for me. If a relationship is causing me more anxiety than peace, then I have the power to decide how much space it takes up in my life. So I want to leave you with this quote. Sometimes closure isn't about getting answers from someone else. It's about accepting that some things can't be explained and choosing peace anyway. Townies. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that the words I shared struck a chord with you. If not, that's fine. Either way, I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you've got any on this or anything else you've spoken about, either on this podcast or any other, feel free to reach out, send me an email. And until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other.